So last week we actually had a conversation. I told you I was going to tell you how I had a client PR in every single race that he had put himself in, whether it was a 5K, 10K, half, or full marathon. Quick little background, his wife actually called me 4 years ago and told me that his stomach was getting just a little too big and I just had to hurry up and help him do something about it. Now, of course, there was some resistance in the beginning, but over time, he began to see how helpful and how beneficial exercise would be to him and how he was able to actually keep up with his wife and children on those spring break, Christmas break, and summer break vacations. Now, here's what surprised me more than anything. 2 years ago, my client actually walked up to me and said that he was never going to drink alcohol again starting January 1st, 2024. And then a few months later, he said he was going to run a marathon. Now, of course, you ain't never ran a marathon before in your life. How is that going to happen? I believe that he could actually stay away from alcohol because we both understood what it means to actually consume alcohol on a daily basis and how it can begin to affect the body, whether it's sleep, whether it's mobility, whether it's strength, or whether it's just being around with your family, friends, and loved ones. But that marathon is something that I had a huge question about. How are you going to do a marathon when you've never done any long-term, long-distance running before in your life? But of course, if you know me, you know I love a challenge. And once we finally had a real conversation about what that marathon would look like and what training would actually look like, we began to put boots to the ground and put some action behind our words. So from that day forward, we were able to kind of map out the progress that it would take to actually get to that marathon. His very first marathon was actually in January 2025, the Houston Chevy Marathon. Shout out to the Houston town. And he was able to be very successful. And by success, I don't mean beat the world record, and I don't mean, running as fast as you can. I actually mean that he was able to finish the marathon. My ultimate goal was for him to finish and actually make sure that he actually crossed that finish line, which he did, and I'm very proud of him for it. Now, of course, he and I never really had a conversation of what it looks like to actually be a runner. But once he was dedicated to actually getting into this marathon training, that's when the real work started. We lost the weight, we gained mobility, and we gained a little bit of strength. But running a full marathon takes a insane mindset, and you really have to be dedicated each and every step, each and every mile to cross that finish line. It ain't just for the weak, but once you do it, you'll be amongst the top elite people who actually can get it done. So of course we set out our training. Everything was done to the T. We made sure his core was right. We made sure he had some sprint training in just as much as his long distance training. And every weight workout we did was designed to help his system last for that long. Because you can't just go out there and thinking that if you don't have any strength behind those runs, it's just going to be something that you can just do. You have to still have the proper body support and strength and muscle support in order to cross that finish line and to PR every single time. And this is something that he's been able to do every marathon, every half marathon, 10K or 5K that he was able to participate in. So it's been 4 years. He's already completed his third marathon, and he's actually looking to complete another marathon later this year. So hopefully you'll be able to see him at the Chicago Marathon coming up pretty soon. I think it's in October, November. But whatever marathon that he's going to get into is going to be a good one because he's already been successful this far. And I believe in him. He believes in himself. And of course, more importantly, he gets the belief from his family, friends, and loved ones. All right, y'all.